My name is Anna Koenig, and I'm Rotary Coordinator for Zone 17. In my team, I also have Tavi Wickman. He will introduce himself a bit later. And Venansia Ritzi in Finland. She might not be able to join us today due to work. I'm based in Stockholm, and I'm a member of E-Club of Riddarfjärden. And I've been Rotary Coordinator since July 1st. Tavi is my assistant Rotary Coordinator. Would you please introduce yourself, Tavi?
Yeah, hi, my name is Tavi. I am a member of the Rotary Club of Stockholm Djurgården here in Sweden. So I've been active on the district level, and yeah, I'm looking forward to helping all of you guys recruit younger Rotarians and hopefully start new clubs. And now we also have the other member of the team driving home. So maybe we'll wait until after she stops driving to let her introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. I'm really sorry, but I had a city council meeting and I'm just finished, so I'm driving home and I'm trying to come to the meeting.
So don't talk too much when you're driving.
No, well, talking is not a problem. To watch you is more problem.
So don't look.
Yes.
Well, this is the Zone 17 team, and we also have two assistant coordinators from the Zone 18, Sofia and Nikolai. Would you please introduce yourself, Sofia, first?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Sofia Gisladóttir, and I am in District 1360, Iceland, and very happy to be an assistant Rotary coordinator for this year for Zone 18. And probably my biggest task at the moment is to be the co-chair of the Reykjavik Action Summit, which I know that you're all coming to in Reykjavik in September. Looking forward to that, and this meeting also, of course. Thank you.
And I'm Nikolai Asmussen. Yeah. Hi, Anna. I'm from Copenhagen, Denmark, and that's District 1470. Immediate past district governor, and excited about being assistant Rotary coordinator here in this year. But it's very nice to see all of you, and Anna and Tavi and Vanessa. Thank you very much for allowing us to participate today in your meeting. It's good to see you all.
Great. And we also have an RI staff. Rasmus, would you please introduce yourself and tell everybody what you're doing?
Yes, thank you. And thank you for inviting me to this meeting. I'm employed by Rotary International and based in Zurich at our Europe African office, but actually based in Copenhagen, where I work from. And I'm actually supporting all of you, both club, district, and zone level, with membership and club development. Yeah, my title is a regional membership officer. And I do distribute a monthly newsletter that some of you may have read already. And if not, please let me know if you want to have it. Yes, and I'm just listening today, and I'll just encourage you to reach out to me if you have any questions or thoughts about membership and club development. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Rasmus. This is your Rotary coordinator team, and we have a couple more from Zone 18 that are not here today, so I'll let you meet them another day. But we are here to assist you in anything regarding membership issues in clubs. So reach out to us, and we're here to support you. Today's meeting has no agenda, no speaker. We're just here to discuss new ideas, innovative ideas regarding clubs and meetings. If we can be more flexible, how we can attract maybe younger members and members that we are not able to reach today. So I want to open this up, and anyone who wants to speak, and I'm hoping a lot of people will, otherwise we'll have a very quiet meeting. Please raise your hand and we'll ask you to speak. And I just want to remind everybody that we are recording this meeting for anyone who has just joined us. So who wants to go first? Don't be shy. Okay, go, Tavi. You're a road director.
I was thinking we have Ulrika from Rotary in Stockholm coming in a minute or so. I think we just throw her in right away. Say everyone's gone already, and then just make her go first. But I guess that's not going to work. One of the things that is, well, there's many things when it comes to membership development that are very important with Rotary in the next few years. One of those things is the accessibility of meetings. I, for example, like Anna knows, have been fairly regular at visiting our sponsor club in Rotary Stockholm Djurgården. I started working this year, which means I will be fairly rare at those meetings because I can't take an hour and a half off lunch to get, sorry, I will slow down my sweet English. Can't take an hour and a half, 2 hours for lunch to get to a Rotary meeting, unfortunately. However much I would, I'm not at that point in my career where I can do that. So looking at having more clubs that meet in the mornings and meet in the evenings to allow younger professional members of Rotary to join then, that's a really good way of working. Another thing that my club has been doing now, we actually have completely abandoned our membership development goals. We have no set membership number in our long-term plans for my club anymore. We've had that for a very long time. We haven't seen a major change there. We're rethinking that. So what we are doing now is setting a goal that will help us maintain the objectives we actually have in the club. And that is keep recruiting and keep the club vibrant. So what we've set is an average age. An average age that is the current club age. The current average age of my club is 26. Our goal for the next 5 years is to maintain that. Because we know that our members are getting older. They turn 1 year every year. So if we want to keep maintaining our age, we have to keep looking at how can we bring in new people that are younger, that will bring in new blood and bring in younger people and students, whatever it is, to our club to maintain that average age. I think this is a really interesting way to start looking at membership development instead of looking at we need to recruit 5 more people.
I think that goes for a lot of Rotary clubs as well. My club was chartered in 2013, and I can bet that we're about 9 years older than we were when we started as an average age, and that's not good. And I'm sure that's a lot of other clubs are the same. So is it anyone in your district or in your club that has done something new and innovative to be more flexible, or who has meetings in a completely new way?
Rasmus.
Yes, thank you. I didn't mention that I'm actually a Rotarian myself, but in my club in Copenhagen, we have actually done taken 2 initiatives to be more flexible. One is for this year to have at least 1 meeting in the evening, because we actually midday club too. That's one thing, and another thing is that we are having all our meetings virtually, so that you can actually sit at your office if you can't go and join the day, and then participate virtually. Thank you.
So all your meetings are hybrid meetings?
All our meetings are hybrid meetings, yes. And in addition to that, we have also 1 monthly evening meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Leif.
Yes, Leif Nordlander. I'm from West Sweden, District 2380. I just wonder if you want to maintain the average year 26, when they are growing old, when the members are growing older, that would need some to join another club or to step down, just from a mathematical point of view. Because I mean, you have a level where you come and the club becomes too big to be a fellowship. Or is that not a problem? Because we find it that there is a kind of a limit around 55, 60, perhaps up to 80. But in order to have the comradeship and to have relationship with people.
Then you make 2 clubs.
Yeah, so I can address that absolutely. One is that Rotract has had up to until this year a maximum age. You were by the bylaws forced to leave by the age of 30 and then 35. Now there's no average cap there, but in practice you don't stay in Rotract above 35. There are a few exceptions there, but for the most part, people do leave at that point. The second thing is we actually do want members to leave. One of the things we do want to see with Rotractors is they join Rotary clubs, either as members in existing clubs, or we want them to start their own club. Very successful clubs are often chartered in part or in full by Rotractors. So that's one aspect. The other one, I agree. When you get up to 50, 60, 70 members, the fellowship kind of has a hard time continuing for all the members because of those numbers. Rotract clubs are on average a lot smaller. The average Rotract club is about 16 people. Stockholm is 32. We are a very big club for Stockholm, Sweden, or for anywhere. So when you're dealing with a club that is that size, it might be valuable to ask, do we want this to be one club? And is there a time when we should make this 2? Because if you're 90 people, I would hope you have enough active members to maintain 2 clubs. Otherwise, you might have an issue with the membership and the engagement there, which is always a challenge. Does that answer your question? Yeah, it's a Rotract club, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that when asking.
Yeah.
You just said Rotary Club earlier.
Oh.
That would have been an extremely young Rotary club. That would have been amazing. I want to see that.
That would be pretty cool. That would be very cool to have an average age of 26 in a Rotary.
Let's move on to Tina.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Tina. I'm the DMC in District 1410 in Finland. I just wanted to say, because we were speaking about the member development in my club. When I entered, I've only been a Rotarian for 3 years, 4 years, something like that. Before that, I worked with Rotary clubs, but I was a member. But when I entered to my club, the average age was 72.4 and only men. So I thought something needs to be done. They were really active. They did a lot of can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the youth exchange was really important to me. So I wanted to join the club, but I knew that something had to be done. But I didn't know how to get new younger members to that club because only men, and age was quite high. So I got one of my friends with me, and then we started to think about how to do it. And we gathered a group of people and asked them if they want to join to a club. And we said that, hey, we meet once a month and we do 2 to 3 projects together to do something good, and ask if they want to come and join. And then we said, hey, we meet once a month, but then you become a member of this club, and we also have these 2 other meetings. So if you want to join, you can always come to these other meetings too. So we got 7 new members. Now we have average age of 58 point something. And, you know, we have a whole different club at the moment. So I think that has been amazing.
I agree. That is a great thing that you have done, Tina. Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay. And I know that you today have been also active, doing something about this membership thing, but you will tell us about this project of your district later in the fall. And I'm really for that, because I'm waiting very good things from you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I will tell you later.
Yes, yes. But I agree that in a way, all the clubs should do something to a bit change, to make them more attractive. And ideas can be several, so, and they don't have to be all the same. So every club should find own way to come out from this kind of bad circles where usually these older clubs are going to. So to become a little bit too old and then to die. And that's what we want to avoid. And there are examples I have seen in Sweden, the clubs that the club which meets also in the morning on Friday, very early, and they have this sporting team there. So basically every Friday at 6:30, they start to meet the meeting by playing some game. It can be beach volley or swimming or whatever. They meet in this gym hall, and they can do whatever. And that is very nice, because you can like combine the wealthy team with the Rotary team, which is also good. And it's good for all ages, also for the older ones, that they can be more active. So this is one example, but there are surely many more. And I want that from all of you, especially the DMC, which are they going to meet the clubs more often on this kind of team, like the membership development especially, you can get, of course, then give ideas, but and then we can discuss together. This is great.
Next up, we're going to have Sophia.
Yes, well, I have a story about an interesting membership, growth project. Well, growth or maybe to engage more members, and that's a friend of mine in my club went to Copenhagen. I don't know which club he visited, but he told when he contacted the president, "Oh, you're so lucky now, because this evening we are going to meet in small groups, 6 by 6. So they were dividing this big club into groups of 6, and that's what they do. He thought once a month, or at least once every 2 months. So, and you take a number, and you're not always meeting the same 6. So you are really getting to know your club much better than you could have. And this is very good for new members also, to get invited to smaller groups within the club, and you really get to know them that way. And they could choose which way they would like to meet. They could meet in their homes, or they could go to a restaurant. But I think this is a very good way to get to know your club members better, particularly if you're in a big club. So it's a nice thing to do. And he was so happy about this visiting to this very nice club of Copenhagen. I don't know which one it is, maybe you know, Rasmus, but it's at least a very nice one.
Has anyone in any districts or clubs discussed any really innovative ideas? Something that does not involve a meal or a speaker? Maybe meet on a Sunday morning and for a bonfire, or like the gym, or with children, or any ideas, Rasmus?
Yes, it's actually one of the clubs in the western part of Denmark that have been using a concept that may be familiar to some of you, Rotary Community Corps. And it's our Aarhus club that actually once or twice a month, they have united with a street kitchen that are making food for vulnerable people. And it's not a Rotary initiative, it's a separate NGO that are doing this, but they have signed up for 1 or 2 evenings a month. And then they simply post it out on Facebook and tell if anyone wants to join this evening and to prepare a meal for people in need, they're more than welcome. And they don't have to be Rotarians for doing that. And that's just their way of making a profile and doing some good. And actually, they have caught, I may say, some members on that account. So that was just one way to spread out and join other NGOs and make a profile. And people just joined to make the meal. And then you have the time during the preparation to tell them about what Rotary is and how nice people we are. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Rasmus. Anyone else? Yes, Nikolai?
Well, adding to what Rasmus just said, there's also a club in Copenhagen, in outskirts of Copenhagen, that once a month they go to a local place for children, kids, younger kids, and they cook together with them. So while they're cooking, they're of course talking. It might not be a way to get new members because they're so young, but it's a very good way of keeping the existing members in the club. I know there was a lot of resistance initially. Oh, why do we have to go out? And it's much nicer to just meet up and have a meal at the restaurant where we usually meet up. But those are the people who've now become the strongest advocates for doing this, being in touch with the local communities and interacting. So that is very, very good. Adding on something else that you can do as a club is that the District 1480, so southern part of Zealand here in Denmark, they have invited all the Rotarians in the district to meet up at Roskilde, which is one of the biggest cities here, to go for a walk. So they're meeting multiple different club members from different clubs and going for a walk. The overall purpose of walking is to create awareness for polio and raise money to support it. But in doing so, they're both showing the people of Roskilde what is Rotary. They'll be wearing Rotary paraphernalia and shirts and caps and what have you, have a chance to talk about polio and interact with people from other clubs. So I think it's addressing a lot of the things that we would like to offer to our members. Just a few things from here. Yeah.
I think there's a couple of things I want to really highlight there. And one of those things is local projects. In Stockholm, Rotary Club has been doing what's called Rena Mälaren, which is a local volunteer project together with an NGO here in Stockholm, where they have divers picking up trash out of the river, which is a great way of allowing Rotarians to get their hands dirty, which in a way that you actually can see in local societies. You get members active, engaged in activities that do build stronger connections, more friendships, but also get them in a place where they can show up visibly in their communities. Those pictures will show up on Instagram, they'll show up on Facebook, they might show up on TikTok, and almost you guys don't have that at your age. Sorry. It's more of a 20-year-old social media site, but these things matter because seeing Rotary in your community might make you want to join. I mean, that's where we get our members. We get our members locally, and we should be visible locally. Another thing that was mentioned earlier is the networking part of Rotary, the professional network, your business network at I grunden, fundamentally. My first Rotary Club I attended, they had your name, they had the club, and they had your profession on the card. So everyone knew what everyone did. So maybe we don't want to have everyone talking about business and networking and how we can help each other at every meeting, but to have that aspect as well visible as a part of what Rotary can do for you is an important part, I think. Yeah.
Has anyone considered any other types of clubs than the traditional ones, like a passport club? Does anyone have experiences with a passport club? No one? I heard about a passport. I know there are several, but one example is a passport club in the UK. They have members all over the district in different hubs, and each hub meets in a coffee shop or at someone's house or wherever they decide to meet regularly. And then maybe every second month or every third month, they all meet up and do something together, like a project. But the small hubs can also have local projects. Is that something you have thought about in your districts or your clubs? Do you have anything you want to add on passport clubs, Rasmus?
Not necessarily to passport clubs, but that's an excellent idea and structure that you are mentioning there. But it's I can give another example on how you actually can maybe change or adapt your club. We have 2 clubs in southern Denmark, and at the moment, the Danish government and the German government are building a bridge, and they will do that for the next 10 or 15 years. That means that there will be the influx of a lot of workers to this particular area for this period. And the 2 Rotary clubs have decided to make a kind of satellite club, which actually are aiming for these new families that will stay here for 10 years or more or less, and actually invite them, and they have done so and actually succeeded in getting a group in 10 to 15 potential new members that are going to be in this satellite club. So the 2 other clubs that has been there for years, decades, they will continue their life, but they will support this satellite club that will be maintained by experienced older members, but still invite all the new incoming with a lot of nationalities into the new club.
That's a good idea, and I know that you can assist in our zone if someone wants to know if there are maybe companies or people moving in like that. So if you're considering that you might have something like that in your district, reach out to Rasmus and he will be able to assist you with that information. Then we have something. Ela wants to say something.
Yes, I think, yes, I think we need all different new models for Rotary clubs. So far, I have been thinking that the key for our future is to develop the old clubs and give them some support and new ideas and so on. But now I have to ask, do they want it? Because I have seen far too many clubs who actually, as I think, need some help, and clubs that should get new members and should get new action, should get some plan why they are Rotary Club, what they are doing and what's their future. But they are very happy as they are now. They don't want to think about getting new members or doing something else than their lunch or dinner. So now I think that we have to establish new clubs, whatever, passport, satellite, whatever, maybe cost-based clubs. Because if we want to have new members, I mean new active members, I think it would be easier to get them into the new club with new fresh ideas which the new members could be part of planning those things what the new club is going to do. And yeah, we need new members, but I think that today we really have to get many new clubs if we want to grow Rotary. And yeah. Yeah, I think that our problem is that we have many old clubs who are very happy, satisfied, and they are in their meeting places. They are not visible in their community. They are not doing anything that those new potential members could see that, oh yeah, Rotary is doing that or this. So we have to find meanings. We have to find projects which are meaningful for those new members, and through them, those projects, we can get new members to interested in us.
I agree to some extent. I think some of the older clubs do very good things, but they don't want to change. And I think we should just leave them and do their work. But we have to focus, like you said, we have to focus on the others. Where we have to put our work is to create the new ideas, give them the new ideas on how to meet and what to do. And I also think that if we find preferably younger than 50 members, we should let them decide how they want to meet. We can never tell them that, oh, we thought of this good idea, you should meet like this. We have to find the people, but then we have to ask them, what do you want to do in your Rotary Club? How do you want to meet? What do you want to do? And we should assist them, but not tell them what to do. So I agree with you, Ella. Tina?
Yes, I have an example from last week. There's one club in my district. They asked me if I could come to their meeting to discuss about their membership, and they said that, you know, we like what we do. We have this lunch meeting every Thursday at 12, and we are so excited to come here, and it is so nice to, you know, listen to the speaker, and then we are always wondering, because there's always whipped cream, so what we can get with that for dessert. So that's the main thing. And then they said that, we have these scholarships to the students, and then we do this and this, and we have this kind of projects. And I asked, okay, what do you say when you have these new members coming? You bring them here, they listen to this speaker, and you say what? You don't tell them what you do. It's only your attitude, because you actually do a lot of good things in the area where you live. So why don't you tell about that? Say that you do this and this and these things, and then we meet on Thursdays if you want to meet us and come join us. This is what we do. So it's only, in some clubs, I think it's only about, you know, how you think what you're doing, because you just like to be there on Thursday lunch, but the new member would probably want to come because there's something meaningful and they could actually participate to something good, and then have the whipped cream with something on Thursdays. But, you know, that's just one thing that some clubs, they don't understand. They don't really see what Rotary is. They just think it's the meeting.
And I say that from these speeches, it comes clear at the diversity which is in the Rotary, which is also a good thing in a way. So you brought, Tina, 2 examples of different clubs. Your club, which has wanted to change, and you are doing now this increasing new members, younger ladies, not just men like it was, and they have accepted that. Then there are other clubs that they are more closed, like-minded. They like what they do, they like what they have always done, and they don't want to change. So I think here it's important that the governors, past governors, DMCs, somehow we should meet in the district, at the district level, and discuss about each club. Is there really a possibility for them to go forward and to change and maybe open their doors to new members or not? In that case, when you make this analysis of the clubs in the district, there is no even more need, how can I say, to bother them with that. So we let them be, and we concentrate on the clubs that, on the other hand, they want to do something about it. Like your club, they have been very good in doing this change. So
yeah, well,
I think it's very important between the DMC, the DG, DGAE, past DG, so everyone and at the district level.
Yeah, there is one thing though. My club was not really keen to do the change. It was hard. It was really hard. So you just need a person who is saying that really we need to change. We need to do something. They knew that something had to be done. So they were kind of ready, but they didn't want to change. And that's why we kind of added something on top of what they do now, so they can do exactly the same what they have been doing, but then we have this extra meeting for those who want to do something else. And then, you know, there's just, you need time to make the change.
Sure.
You do, and sometimes you just need to maybe start a satellite if it's too hard, because otherwise you might lose the members that want to change because it's too hard to fight the older ideas. And that was the case when we started our hybrid club 10 years ago, that it was too hard to fight the older ideas in the club, where most of the people were retired. It was a lunch meeting. They wanted to have a meeting for 2-3 hours, and us worked, we couldn't. So that's why we changed and started that club instead of fighting with them, because that wasn't a good situation. I usually say that you don't have to have a speaker and you don't have to have a meal at a Rotary meeting. It might be nice, but you don't have to. I've been a Rotarian for so long. My mind is set on thinking that Rotary is a meal and a speaker and projects. But the meal and the speaker is not really necessary. And maybe the younger people of today, they don't want to take that time. Maybe they want to meet and have an occasional speaker, but maybe they just want to plan their project and do their things. Because having projects and supporting the Rotary Foundation, that's the 2 things you have to do in a Rotary Club. And if we look at some of the clubs, they might not have many projects, and they might not support the Rotary Foundation that much. So those clubs aren't really true Rotary clubs, and we need to change that. But instead of fighting with that, like we said before, get new members, and some of the older members might want to join to help you work with this. But we have to think of the creative ideas that doesn't have a meal and that doesn't have a speaker. That's what I think, because the other clubs we already have, and we can invite people to join that. If they want a meal and a speaker, there are several clubs, almost all clubs in all our zones that have that. So that's not what we need, 20 more clubs. We need the other clubs, and we need to help each other to come up with the ideas, how we can get started, because we have to sow the seed in order to get the new members to come up with how exactly they want to have their club. Because if they think that, okay, we need a speaker and we need to have a meal, then I don't want to be a Rotarian. So we have to give them the ideas but not tell them exactly how to do it. So does anyone have any bright ideas that we can try? There are no wrong ideas. We can try anything. If it fails, we just try something different. But we can't be afraid to try.
I have,
So come on.
I have one thing that my club board has been discussing for the last few months. And that is to start, well, not to start, sorry, to stop announcing our speakers. We're just not gonna tell anyone. We book good speakers, we've got a good track record. But we know there are some people, external and members of the club, that will show up if there's a really high profile speaker, and they won't show up otherwise. I know it's definitely the fact for a lot of Rotary clubs. Members show up for the speaker, not for the club, not for the projects, not for the for meeting other members. So what we're considering doing in Stockholm is simply not telling anyone. You show up to socialize with your friends, to plan projects, and there will most likely be a speaker, and it'll be interesting, but that's not why you're there.
I think the question is, like Petri has been writing there in the chat, that why to be a member of this organization or of any organization, but we are talking now about the Rotary. So why to be a member when you can do also charity in some other way?
Yes,
Petri,
why Venantia? Why are you in Rotary?
Because from Rotary I have some added value. I have a bunch of friends around me who help to do concrete projects. I'm not just financing. Of course, that is important, and I do as well, but also other projects that we do together. So that is the main idea, I think, about Rotary. And then, of course, because if we remember how the Rotary organization is born, it's business-based. And so the networking, it's also a very important thing. And I think many young professionals, they are waiting this from us. And so that is very important that we offer also that. But why I'm a member? Because I want to do good in the world. I want to have friends around me to do that. And I want to have fun with them. And we do in my club. And I want to have also enlarge my network. So there are so many different reasons why I'm here, and not I'm just giving the same amount of money to another organization. And so if we can bring this message to the new potential members, then maybe we can reach them better and we can grow better.
I think we all have our different reasons. We are 35 people in this meeting right now, and I think each have our own special reason why we joined Rotary. I grew up in a Rotary family. I was an exchange student. Rotary gave me so much, and then I was asked to join Rotaract. And I was a law student at that time, and all the people I met were law students, and I was so fed up with law students. So joining Rotaract gave me a diversity of friends, and students and people who worked. And after 10 years there, I was sold in Rotary the world, so I joined Rotary. And that's my story. And I think we each have a story that we can bring, and we have to bring that forward and tell other people our story so they can find their way to join. I'll ask someone else maybe to share their story, but there is another Leif Norlander. Would you share what you wrote in the chat about what your club, was it your club or was it your district?
No, it's one of the clubs in our district and in the same circuit as my club. It's in a small community called Götene, where they have many local projects. It's a small scale, but it has become very important because people know what Rotary is in the area, and they have a fairly good number of people coming and involving in these acts. We have something, well, I don't know what you call that in English really. I just, women's jour, kvinnojouren in Swedish, where you help vulnerable women who is in a difficult position, just to help them out to come from home with their kids normally. And another project they made, which I think was very nice, they made a greenhouse at the old people's home, especially for the people with dementia, because some of them were old farmers' wives and farmers, and they wanted to dig in earth just to take part. And this they knew in their hands. They didn't have to remember, but someone helped them out, and it's working. So I think that's two good examples of a local project which make a difference for people, and many sees that.
Are you able to reach out with that into the community so people see that it's Rotary does this?
Yes, it's.
And do you think it would attract members that would like to work towards the same?
Yes, I think it has done, and they are continuing. They have done this for about 10 years, and it has meant that the club has grown. I don't think it has grown so much with younger people, but I think they could find with inspiration some project which would support and make an impact on youth as well.
It's a very good idea to do. I think it's important to do the local projects, because that's where we're seen locally. I would like to ask someone else to share why they became a Rotarian, and I have a Rotary coordinator colleague here from a different zone, Aurélie. Would you please share why you joined Rotary, and you can tell them where you're at as well.
Yes, I'm indeed a colleague from another region, namely Belgium and the Netherlands. I myself am from Ghent, if somebody would know the city. And that's a university city. And actually, I was not really interested in Rotary. I had heard the name, but never given it a thought. And then the club reached out to the university, asking if any last year students were interested to get to know Rotary, offering a full year membership, but all costs paid. So you could join every meeting, every activity, even the board meetings, very open. And for me, that was, well, if an organization like that is that open, yes, I'm interested. I want to get to know them. So I joined, I finished the year. And actually then when I graduated, I even immediately became a Rotary member. So I never was Rotaract member. I was one of the younger members of that club, but I was so surprised they had a very young mentality. They were really interested in me as a person as well. And I stayed because I could learn so much from them on how they do their daily work, but also how they approach projects, what their interests are. And it's really nice to grow together with them. So that's my story.
Thank you for sharing, and that's really a good idea. Maybe our districts and club can take that with them back. If you have a university nearby, maybe you can invite some students for potential membership and invite them to join you for a year. And Rotaractors, you can do the same. You already do that.
We do the same.
To be members.
Exactly. But
yeah,
if you
but
don't have a Rotaract
if there's not a Rotaract club in the vicinity, you can, as a Rotarian, you can ask for that. So you see, there are a number of ways how you find Rotary or how Rotary finds you. Anyone else would like to share their story
Actually,
I also want to say one thing that Aurelie said, that even if the club wasn't young, they were young in thought. And I've experienced that a lot in my district and in Sweden and other places. It's not the age, it's the way you think. If you're ready and open for new ideas, it doesn't matter how old you are.
I agree.
I think there's a couple things I want to mention here. Number one, having university nearby is a great place to start recruiting. But like we've heard earlier today, you need to have both students and young professionals for Rotary Club to survive more than a couple of years, because they tend to have an issue. Rotaract's main issue is not recruitment often, it's maintaining those members, because members move a lot. So for Rotaractors, and when you're talking to Rotaractors, helping build those clubs, make sure they have young professionals, because they're going to have people moving away, starting a master's program, getting the degree, things like that. That is always a challenge. Number two, and it's one of the things that Rotary really has more than almost anyone, and that's experience. So one thing in Stockholm, we have a lot around the world, is mentors in Rotary. So we'd love to see in Stockholm and Rotaract around the world is a lot more Rotary members mentoring young professionals, immigrants, recent graduates, either people that are coming from different countries, like they're doing in Stockholm for Rotary Yrkesmentorer, helping people integrate into society, or mentoring young professionals like Rotaractors or potential Rotarians. It's a great way of being active in society, but also making sure that your clubs are developing new potential members. And that's a really, really great way of engaging. And we have Ayla, who mentioned Ukraine, also a great thing. We were actually there working with Ukraine in Riga with the Rotary European Convention. Rotary are doing a lot of stuff for Ukraine, but that's enough for me. I'm going to pass the word on to Klaus.
Yes, I raised my hand just because we often talk about and ask people, why do you join Rotary? And they tell a story. But I think it's even more important to ask, why do you stay in Rotary? Because why do you pay 200 euro to be a member in this organization? And that's, I think it's a really important question. And I try to describe Rotary from my point of view as like an iceberg. At the ordinary member, they see just the tip of the Rotary, of the iceberg. It's a lunch, it's a nice beach, and it's a normally good friendship. But as long as you learn more about Rotary, you see much more that is under the surface. And if you can learn more about Rotary and get more experience, you get more automatically more engaged. And then you know much more and you see the benefits for yourself as well. So I think it's important that we give more knowledge about Rotary and also emphasize these two legs, which actually we are standing on. Like Vanessa said, that it's very important that we're not just talking about the charity leg. We also take the leg of the network, the business network, and actually to be a little bit more, let's say, selfish. What's in it for me? These two legs, I think we have to explain. And of course, every member, they have different, let's say, emphasis in this. Is it a charity or is it a network? But I think we have to discuss both these parts in a good way. Thank you.
Because we are both.
Yes.
We are a network and we are doing good things in the world.
And I think that it's very important that we invite potential members when we have especially some project going on, like we take together with us in those projects. I have an example. Last Friday, I brought to my club a potential member, which was very interested because last summer when we had a project with the children, with the supported children that they stay in different families for their own problems at home, we always every year arrange one day that we take care of them and arrange program for these host families. And so I invite this person there with his own kids, And he came there and he really liked, like something concrete, not just words, but facts. So that's what we have also to show to the potential members. And he came now on Friday, and I have really the feeling that he's going to apply for our club. So just a recent example, and for you also to do. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's the start, to ask and to invite. And maybe everybody we invite doesn't have to be a potential member to start with. It could just be someone that we want to bring along to join in the project, or for us that do have a speaker, maybe they want to listen to the speaker. And after a while, maybe they do want to join. And then also maybe they don't want to join my club because the day and the time doesn't fit. But then maybe I can find another club for them. I think we're not always as good at doing that. We're thinking about our club. And if the person is not able to join my club, I leave it instead of helping to find another club that this person might join. So I think that's something we have to do too, to help each other find members and to do projects together to make our network bigger. So that's one thing that I would like to send with you as well. We're getting to a close of this hour. Before we sign off, I would like to tell you that our next meeting will be on September 26th, also at 7 o'clock Stockholm time. There will be a speaker, and the topic will be new clubs and new members. So I hope a lot of you will join us on September 26th. And if you want to ask other people to join us as well, you're welcome to. I will send a link to the district membership chairs, and they can share it. And we will also post it in the Facebook group for zones 17 and 18. And it should also be posted on the zones 17 and 18 webpage. So I recommend that you join the Facebook group, zone 17 and 18, and that you, Tavi, could you put the link to the webpage again, please, in the chat? And then you can keep a track of what's happening in the zone. And if you want to discuss membership and club issues, reach out to me, Tavi, Venancia, Sofia, Nikolai, Rasmus. We also have in Norway, Björn Oss, and in Poland, Angelica, help me with her last name.
Too difficult.
Angelica is fine.
Angelica is fine. Angelica
I
in
think that's
Poland.
enough. Yeah.
We're here to assist you. We're here to help. So if you have questions, send them to us, and we'll find the answer for you, even if we don't have it. We'll harass Rasmus until he helps us find it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today, and hope to see you next time.